What's going on, people, and welcome to a brand new episode of Too Many Games and Not Enough Time, the podcast where I get to speak to incredible creators around the globe. I'm the one and only Mr. Midas. Once again, thank you for all of the love on the channel. Make sure you hit them thumbs up. Make sure you hit them subs. We are working towards 5K. And remember, if you've come over from TikTok, wagwan, I know man ain't dancing over there, but we are entertaining. Now, the thing I love about Too Many Games is I get to speak to incredible creatives all across the globe, but very few and far between, I actually get to speak to someone that I consider a friend. Now, on today's episode, we have a video game host. He is one of the most talented producers I know in this game. You can catch him having the public getting into raging arguments from anything about the best video games. Who's the best Genshin Impact character? Or is it keyboard and mouse or control thing? He went from VG 24/7 and upgraded to 100% critical damage. One and only the Ranny Mischief. Welcome to Too Many Games, my G.
Hey, them intros there. I like them intros, man. Pleasure to be speaking to you like we always do. You know what I mean? Pleasure to be on, man. Again, this is the second time around now, so wagwan, everyone.
Welcome back. Now, it's mad. I've known you for a long time, and it's crazy because as long as I've known you, we've worked together behind the scenes of thing, but we haven't done that much content. Obviously, you've previously been on Too Many Games. I've featured on some content for you recently that you did with the PlayStation VR. And one of the things that really stand out to me is a lot of people think you're a newbie in this game, but you are old school. I'm talking old school like Biggie. They think you're Jay-Z fam, but you're old school like Biggie and Tupac Shakur, because when you came in the game, like, you was a young buck, no beard, a little whiskers on top of the thing. Man, they have the long hair. But you was actually doing the content about League of Legends and stuff like that. Yeah. And you had a quite vibrant YouTube channel. Like, you was getting really good views and stuff like that. And you stepped away from creating content for a while. And the thing that I love about you, you've been very specific on the journey you want to have as a content creator. So before we even get into any talk about games, what was the reason that you stepped away from gaming and now kind of at the point where you started your own brand and you understand exactly what it is you want to do?
So the first time, I've always loved gaming and I've always loved editing. So the first time I was editing on just a joke, I was just doing it because I liked figuring out programs. First, I used to edit on Sony Vegas, so I learned Sony Vegas back in the day. Only real G's know about that. Modern Warfare 2 times I was editing, doing trick shot montages. That's how you know I'm serious. Then I started playing like League of Legends and all that sort of stuff. Same thing again. It was a lot of fun. I said to myself, okay, I've always liked YouTube. Let me just post up some YouTube videos. And at that time, I was like, okay, I want to be a presenter. So let me just see how I can present myself to a camera. So it was like a practice sort of thing. But nothing come of it. I was like, nah. Let me just like back out of this. And life, man. Life. That's why I stopped. Life got in the way. I needed to go and work, and work was getting me down because that's not what I wanted to do at the time. So I was just like, nah, this is just a bit much. And then I said to myself, okay, I'm still out here loving playing games and I still want to do something in the games industry. And I was working at Vodafone at the time. I've covered about 10 years just in that little bit. I started working at Vodafone, and then someone hit me up just on like a whim. His name's Chris. You might know him as People Make Games. Absolutely insane YouTube channel. Go and check it out. He said, yo, this place is hiring, VG 24/7. They're looking for a video producer. And I had met him at EGX, I think like the year beforehand. And this is why you should network people, because you never know. You sow the seeds and it might not come for you until the seed might not grow until a year later.
Your network is your net worth.
Exactly. And he said, VG 24/7 are hiring. And I applied and I got the job. And then I done all of the work at VG 24/7, learned what I needed to learn, the sort of press side of things. And then I said, you know what? I don't really want to be a presenter anymore. And then 2, I feel like I can do what I'm doing at VG 24/7 for my own and give it a new generation spin. And which leads me to today with 100% Crit, the brand that I'm currently scaling, and it's going well so far, I think.
Man's hitting a milli on TikTok and them thing there. You're doing your thing, bro. You're doing my thing. All right, cool. So I know you as a competitive guy when it comes to the games. Like, I know you're about getting in them dubs in Apex. I know you're about Valorant. You're talking about old school COD. Where did this competitive edge loving gaming start for you?
It started with Halo 2, I'd say. Halo 2, that's where I was like, oh, okay. Halo is very, like, the multiplayer in Halo is very steeped in competition. You can play it casually, but the way the game is designed, it has a competitive spirit, competitive nature. And from there, I've just loved competition. It, like, in Halo, it's red versus blue. You go at it, and the game modes sort of like encourage you to play like seriously. You know what I mean? And then Call of Duty, a lot of people don't really play the game mode now these days, but Search and Destroy, back when I played Call of Duty, like in COD 4 and Modern Warfare, like those game modes are rooted in competition. And then League of Legends, man. League of Legends, Counter-Strike. I just kept finding more different competitive games, but it started with Halo.
That's sick. It's funny as well because I kind of missed the whole Xbox ecosystem, so I never really got into the Apex, not the Halos and stuff like that. And COD was the first proper shooter that I remember playing because, like, you know me, I love these big, expansive RPGs and these big stories and stuff like that. And that was kind of the games that were mainly pushed for, like, the PlayStation and the Nintendo consoles that I'd play at the time. And it's weird because my competitive nature was probably more on the Nintendo with, like, Mario Kart and GoldenEye and stuff like that. You get me? Like,
GoldenEye, yeah.
GoldenEye, man, was dope. Fam, don't act like I clarted you up on Mario Kart. You get me?
I'm terrible. Do you know what? All now, do you know how long? Hold on, wait, where is it? Do you know how long I've had this thing, right? And I've never downloaded Mario Kart. Never. I'm not a Mario Kart guy. You was drifting around corners, and I was like, "What is going on?" You duffing me.
And that competitive nature, and that's one of the things that, like, I really rate because with the leagues, the Apexes that we'll speak about in a bit more, and a Valorant, like, it is a lot of time. Like, it's a lot of time and stuff. But do you also feel like it's because of your friendship circles and how you game why these have become so important to you?
A little bit. I've been playing games with the same people for 10 years. But when I started playing, like, Halo, for example, it was just me and my uncle. We were just vibes in playing Halo. And then the next game after Halo was actually Gears of War. And then it sort of expanded a little bit more. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure why or what influences it. I just think that's just how I am as a person. I just like being competitive. But that's not to say that I don't like other games. It's just that when I play, it's a lot of live service games. These live service games, right? It's just, they make me feel good, man. I like to win. I like to beat people at things. I like to say, like, okay, I was better at someone in that moment. You know what I mean? In that game, I played better. Don't get me wrong. I still take losses regularly. Like, but when you win, it feels good. Of course it feels good. Yeah. But like I said, you know what I mean? I'm still out here playing all the single player games, and I'm a variety man. I'm a man of fine tastes. You're saying I try everything.
You're saying bare taste, yeah? I mean, man, don't want one big meal, man's taking a little piece out of every play. So the one game out of these kind of services that really grabbed me was Apex. Now, what's funny is, as much as I say, I don't really play shooters like that, I play all of the story shooters. So I would complete all of the campaigns in COD. Like Titanfall, I love the campaigns of Titanfall and Titanfall 2. Insane. Titanfall 2's campaign was insane. And Apex was the first BR that actually caught me. Like, I found Fortnite was it seemed a bit too silly and kiddie for me at the time. And then COD was just felt too competitive. And I felt like Apex was the perfect middle ground, and they did something so incredible, like making me care about the legends, like giving them stories that even though there is no story in the game, this game is full of story. What is it about Apex that you love? And just quickly, please don't think I forgot about that time we was at the EA preview event and I ran around the corner and you just slide and just in my head. I'm still mad about that, fam. Mad. That was about 2 years ago, and it still gets me upset.
Yes. What is it about Apex, you're asking, right?
Yeah, what is it about Apex specifically that really drew you in?
It's not having the best season at the moment, but overall, it's balanced. Everything's a bit more balanced. It's tailored in team play, and so I'll tell you where the other ones go wrong, and that might lead us to why Apex is so good. So, Call of Duty, you said it feels a bit too competitive. The time to kill in Call of Duty is very short. It's very unforgiving in Call of Duty. There's no time to react when you get caught in Call of Duty.
I was just killed in a parachute. How? Man didn't even landed. Let me land, fam.
Exactly. There's no time. But the thing that forgives in Call of Duty Warzone is the fact that you come back, right? You go to the gulag and come back. But even still, it's way too fast. Fortnite in its prime was sensational. Like, I'm not talking about how it is now. You said it's like gotten kiddie and it's a bit cutesy and silly now. But like in its prime, that game was fun. What ruined that game was it got over optimized. People learned how to build, and like that was the skill that you needed, and it wasn't gunplay anymore. The gunplay in Apex is insane. All of the guns feel nice, they work well. You have to think about you grow attachments to the characters. You know what I mean? Because all of the different characters, it's like you're known for your character. You know what I mean? Like at any specific time. So at the moment, I'm playing. I was playing Loba, but now I'm playing Catalyst because I watched ALGS and everyone's playing Catalyst in ALGS. But like, you just there's so much to learn, like per character. So much to learn per character, and those characters all, as you're playing, depending on who's in your team. So teams of 3, we all play Apex, right? We all know teams of 3. The synergies between them always change per. So it's like you're getting a different outcome every single time. But there's other things that affect that outcome as well. Where you landed, what guns you had, what level the lobby is. There's so many things that sort of make it fun and an enjoyable experience. But it's just tight gunplay. It's a lot of fun. I couldn't like nail it down to one thing.
Yeah, Respawn don't play about when it comes to their gunplay, and it's something that they've been able to do for a long time. And the thing that I love about Apex is I feel like it's got such an easy learning curve. So I feel like you can be like, probably the first few times that I played, I got a dub. Like it didn't take playing it for 6 weeks straight to be able to get a dub and also as well, I've been able to kill people who are way better than me at the game just because of the gun I got, the team I got, where we've landed, like you said, all of those things. So what's the difference between something like a Valorant? So obviously CSGO is like one of the oldest shooters and the most technical shooters, and Valorant kind of brought some color and synergy into that. Where would you say that is so different compared to that kind of open scale of an Apex?
What do you mean in terms of what different
in terms of play style? Like in my head, I can't jump on Valorant because I don't get the intricacies, so I'm gonna just be dead.
So it's the game mode. That's mainly the main thing. It's the game mode. In, of course, Apex Legends is a battle royale. In CSGO and in Valorant, it's bomb defusal, right? There's just way more nuance and mechanics in games like Valorant and Counter-Strike. It's not like they are deceptively sort of hard to learn. There's a lot of strategy that goes into it, as opposed to like Apex, you can land, pick up your gun, and just, you know what I mean? You know what to do. You're kind of forced into each other. Like the zone's pushing everyone in, and inevitably you're gonna have to fight at some point. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to try and make something happen. In Valorant, for example, so 5 different agents, all with 4 abilities that could all go off at the same time. There's more you have to think about. So that's just on your team, but then you have to think about all of the enemies' teams. You know, all the enemies, what they have to do. And then one thing that catches everyone out with Valorant and CS:GO is how you shoot with movement penalties. When people start playing Valorant for the first time, you see them sprinting full speed and they'll be trying to shoot, but it doesn't work that way. But they probably would have grown up with games like Call of Duty, where you can jump 360, backflip, and still have 100% accuracy. But in Valorant and Counter-Strike, when you're moving, you have to. So when you're shooting, you have to stop, shoot, and people just can't wrap their head around that.
See, that sounds all like voodoo to me, fam.
I'm
like, what? Yeah, it's too too much complex.
Yeah.
So you said you like to sample from everything. I feel like the last 10 years of gaming has been incredible. We've had some super cinematic experiences that have really blown my mind as what a video game can be. I want you to give me something from either this generation or last generation, a game that proper stood out for you. So something that gave you that grand scale that when you was young, you're like, raw, I didn't know games could do this.
I am going to say The Last of Us Part 2. I think everyone gives The Last of Us Part 2 a bad rap because people... I'm going to put a spoiler.
Spoiler warning for Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah, spoiler warning, because people don't know about story development on a high level. They think that all of their favorite characters and protagonists should be protected at all times, but that develops something called plot armor. When your favorite character is basically invincible.
Once again, huge spoiler warning for The Last of Us Part 2. Let's go.
When your favorite character has plot armor, whatever situation they get into, you know they're gonna make it out of it, right? And even if the stakes are really high, you're just like, somehow we're getting out of this. In The Last of Us Part 2, that didn't happen. You know what I mean? And then it swapped over to you're now playing the side character. But now the side character, who, when you think of protagonists, you think of they're morally correct, they're morally right, and every decision they make is the right one. But then you're like, okay, we have another antagonist. But is this person even an antagonist? There's so much moral gymnastics going on in that game and I don't think a lot of The Last of Us is player base understood. And when it comes to storytelling in video games, that was one of the best, I think. It's very, very thought-provoking. And I know a lot of people aren't going to agree, but I think to be challenged like that, especially towards the end, you're thinking... whose side am I on? You know what I mean? Whose side am I on? That story-wise, that's
Listen, The Last of Us Part 2 made me feel emotions that I've never felt in a video game before. Yeah. Like the compassion, I've never hated a character so much and then hated the game company for making me play as that character that I hate so much. And then that character starts making me laugh, and I'm getting angry. Don't make me laugh.
Exactly.
Don't bust no jokes that I'm laughing at. You're meant to be my enemy. You're the ops. Yeah. And then you start to realize, is that person the ops? Is that person wrong? Am I wrong? And it really gives you a central look at life, and I feel like it's the most human aspect of any gaming, because as humans we're always in the right, it's all the way always about our situation, and to actually take a mirror and look back at yourself and be like, actually in this scenario you would be that same person. Just because you love Joel and you love Ellie, if you was Abby, you would be that same person. So exactly, that the nuance of that game is incredible and emotional, and gameplay wise it's probably the best game Naughty Dog's ever done. Like in terms of actual the shooting, the moving around, the mechanics, which is something that's not spoken about that much when it comes to the Last of Us game, is the best one that Naughty Dog's actually ever produced. Super.
And go and watch. Have you seen those like clips of those guys who like play the encounters like over and over again? Have you ever seen those videos?
No.
Bro, there's people that like they post their clips all the time, right?
Yeah.
And they're playing like the same encounter, but they're like optimizing the encounter.
Yeah.
So they are going through booby trap here, booby trap there. So as soon as the enemy spawns in, it's like mad, and it looks so cinematic. Watch like a cinematic playthrough, and you'll see how much attention to detail there is with the animations in that game, with the movement. Because people are playing it like fine, but like Naughty Dog made the game like thinking about these like people who are gonna put in those hours to learn all the mechanics and all the movement. Watch it, it's serious, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna pre that sounds sick. Durrani, we are running out of time. We're only a short form podcast. But what's really, really important is, like I said, I've known you for a long time, and I'm really impressed about your journey. It's very, like, you know me, I've always known what I want to do. Like I'm a presenter, I know what type of content I want to present and stuff like that. And in the times I've known you, you've kind of peaked and valleyed in exactly what you wanted to do. Like you've tried this, but that's not really been exactly how you want to portray yourself. So you've moved over to this, and that's not exactly what represents you right. And you've really taken your time to actually figure out exactly who you are and what you want to do to this space and how you're going to bring it to this space. And it's very easy to be able to be given opportunities and just do it for the sake of it, because that's what everyone else is doing and I should just be there. And I proper commend what you've done. And fam, I'm super proud of the brand you built with 100% Crit, because I've seen the work, and I don't know you from 8 years ago when you had no hair on your face, but in the long time, in the 5 years I have known you, I've seen the growth and you are so talented. Like when I said it in the intro, you're literally one of the most talented producers that I ever know. So I have to give you a shout out on what you do, my G, because you are sick, proper sick. But if you wanted to send the people to pre your content, they're feeling your vibes. They want to go at you, at your neck in some Apex, or they want to try and get onto you on Valorant. Where are you sending the people to find you?
Come and find me on Twitter and Instagram. The personal one is MrMidasGames, but the brand one, which you're better off following, is 100% Crit. So 100, the word percent, Crit. Yeah, it'll be on screen right here. Midas will put that in. I'm giving him more work to edit, but 100% Crit everywhere.
It's gonna be on. You've seen the episode. Your name's gonna be under you the whole time.
Exactly.
But I just need to make sure they know to go and check you out.
Yeah.
Now
the TikTok mainly. That's the main place. Sorry, the TikTok's the main place.
Yeah, he's getting mad views, mad views. But thank you for staying to the end of the video. Really appreciate the love. Like I said, Durrani is super talented. 100% Crit is the brand that you need to watch right now. So make sure you go and check out the content. Go and check out the PSVR video we did. I almost vomited up the place. It was a madness. Go and check that out. And let me know in the comment below, what is your shooter? Are you an Apex? Are you a COD? Are you a Valorant? Are you a CSGO? What's the shooter you go to? I've been Mr. Midas. He's been Darren. And you've been incredible. We out of here.
Peace.
Peace.